Okay, here we start game 4. So we had a good night's sleep and we start off the next day. So I've got 2 draws and a win going into this match. I'm still on the hunt since I've got most of the bonus points. Figure what the heck. And I'm going to be playing on this table right here, which is an interesting one. The scenario is put your 2 objectives on the center line. I put mine, he puts his. And then we roll for table sides. We roll table sides and my opponent wins this side here, which is actually unfortunate because with my trucks, I kind of wanted to zoom up to the objectives. But so I'm already kind of thinking, at this point, I'm going to just play for a draw with 5 points. I mean, I really want to make sure I get a draw and then get the bonus 5. So I've selected for my special mission objective. I had 3 left to choose from, because out of the ones that's left, my tank won't destroy his tank. He's running a Sherman Fury, the Easy 8, and I don't have anything really much to do bombardment or any kind of artillery. So I've got my guy. I put my two medium machine gun teams and a light mortar on outflank, and all I have to do is end the game with 3 units touching his board edge. So those are my 3 units I'm planning to do that with. So I'm not sacrificing a lot of firepower to do that, but so there's my army again. If you haven't been following along, 2 regular grenadier squads with a light machine gun, a couple Panzerfaust. Got 2 6-man squads with 2 assault rifles and 2 submachine guns and 2 Panzerfaust. I've got a 6-man light machine gun squad that's veteran, and then I have an 8-man assault engineers with a flamethrower and a tank gun, a couple trucks, and my AA truck. So this is, you see my water tower there. I just use that as the objective, and he's got a token over there in that kind of wheat field in that stone grass area. Got this piece of road running down. I really would have liked to have the other side. But so I'm thinking, well, if I just overload this side, basically at the end of a turn, if you're touching the objective, you get to roll on a dice for each unit that's touching it. On a 4-up, you find the secret plans, and then you can take them just like secret mission, but you can't leave the board with them. And then, so he brings a half-track in first right down the road. It's pretty brave. I don't have a whole lot. I mean, I got my AA truck. And I do bring my AA truck in, and here's where it comes in future turns. I didn't pay much attention to. I was thinking dense terrain, half the model in the terrain, give me soft cover, and we have a little rules query on that a little bit later, but we end up working it out and get to that when we get to it. Because I could have drove in on an advance order and just had the tail end sticking out. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to bring his tank in here and shoot me, which I'm okay. I'm committing the tank to over here. Come in with, because I wanted to bring this truck in. I don't have a road, so I have to come in relatively, on an advanced order. So his truck can come in and blast my assault engineers, or he can come in and shoot my AA gun. That's kind of what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking too much about it. I know I could have moved my AA truck, but anyway, my AA truck failed. I did hit the half track several times. I didn't knock it out, so there's still a squad in there with, I think, 2 pins on it. I go ahead and I do a run order out of this truck with my lieutenant, so he's touching the token. Then I remember after he declares a shot, he's got a sniper in that courtyard right there, kind of by the half track. He does take a shot at my lieutenant, hits him, but fortunately doesn't kill him. Here comes Fury, dun, 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 comes in, and my opponent, he actually had the DVD of Fury on his display board, which was like the movie showing, which was kind of good, cool. Sprays the machine guns at the lieutenant, but he actually rolls really poorly. And then sprays a heavy machine gun, I think, at my truck, and did a pin, but didn't do anything else. And then the big shot, this is where we get into a rules conundrum about the 50% dense, because he had rolled. See, I'm just showing some examples where I could have gone. I figured he was going to shoot at me. So it's actually interesting. I mean, I hate when rule questions come up in a tournament because it's new, the dense terrain rule. And we looked through the book, and I think we both had a case, 50% of the models, but it's just one model, in the terrain. And then there's another another section we looked at. So we end up just mainly because, I mean, I could have drove in a different spot that wouldn't affect my shot. We just decide to dice it, and he wins the dice roll, and he blows my AA truck up. So I'm not too worried about that. But hey, when it comes to a question and it's 50-50, then you just dice it. So that worked out, and he blew it apart. So that's all right. I mean, it's not good, but it would have been nice if I survived another turn. But my idea is I'm going to try to get this plan out of this water tower and get the hell out of there with everything else. So we go to turn 2, and my lieutenant did not find the plan, or I forgot to roll for it, one of the two, because we start turn 2, and I've got a truck down here on the side of this building. So I've got 2 6-man squads in there. I got my lieutenant touching it, and I got assault engineers on the way up in the truck. Oh, we're not in turn 2. Or maybe we are. Yeah. So there's too much heat over on this bottom side. I start bringing some squads in on the top because I want to at least show that I'm threatening that one. So he will bring stuff in there. I bring my anti-tank gun in right there. Yeah, trying to figure out where to put it, and I should have put it back there where it had it, but I was worried about blocking my shot, so I just put it in over there to threaten the half track from coming up to the other side. His armored car is driving in on the right hand side and putting some shots on my truck, and he actually blows it up, which is fine because I was on a run, so I couldn't get to the token, and he plops it, and my guys bail out 6 inches, and both can be touching the objective. So did the old blow up my truck and help me out a little bit maneuver. Yeah, they're down, so they can't do anything else this turn, but I am touching it, so I'll be able to roll. Yeah, that's right. So we're still in turn 1. Everything was first wave basically, other than my 3 reserve things that are sneaking down the board edge, mainly just to get the 5 bonus points. So, yeah, we did start. No, we're still in the same turn. Yeah, I didn't advance, so I do a run. So I'm touching with 4 squads. If I don't find the secret plans, that'll be horrible. So here's his lieutenant comes running in there. Yeah, this is one of those games where I think at the end of turn 2, I'm like, oh my god, how many turns have gone by? And it was just 2. So I don't have much on the left. I have 2 regular squads. And I was going to bring my light machine gun squad in over there, but they failed their roll, which is one of those things where they failed because we had first wave and reserve. I don't remember honestly, but I ended up bringing my light machine gun squad in down here to help over here because he called an airstrike in and put pins down on everything, and I had to go down with my assault engineers. And fortunately, I don't die. Going down, he shoots him up a bit, but it's mainly the pins all over the place. So, yeah, on the left side, really it just says tokens in control of your opponent. So I'm kind of thinking, well, if I can push up with those 2 10-man regular squads and just keep him from having it in his possession, but he's got 2 squads and a half track, and he's got that medium howitzer. Here's the airplane coming in, and I only killed 3, so I'm still a threat. And then I'm down. He's firing at me, or no, that's the airplane did get the edge of that. He rolled a 6, so I got a 12-inch bubble or something, or maybe whatever it was. It was just within, so I got the tank, put like a pin on it. Or no pins on the tank. I rolled and a couple pins on the half track. So he's gonna shoot at my lieutenant, and he kills him. I think that's the sniper. He did a snap too with his lieutenant, I believe. So the token, I did find it with one of my 2. They were 6-man squads. I think they're like 4 men, and they got like 5 pins on them from getting shot and from the airplane. So that's not good. So that's his armored car coming in, and I go down with the one with the token. I just go down, and he's going to shoot him up and get another pin on, I think, kill a guy. But if they, so it's hard to see what I'm doing over here. But basically, what I'm doing this turn is I go down with the one that he shot up, because they already had like 4 pins on him. And then I'm going to rally with the one right behind them, which aren't getting the attention. And then at the end of the turn, you can pass the token to a squad like an inch away. So I do rally those guys. And at the end of the turn, I'll end up passing the token to them. And then I'm also bringing in a light machine gun squad down here, and they end up coming into this courtyard for the next handoff. So I'm just basic. My entire army is just over here on the right is just taking a pounding while I'm trying to get the token. Now the one over there, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I probably should have went up and challenged a little stronger for it. But I throw some shots, and you know, it's long range, and there's that hard cover wall. I should have probably pushed a little harder over there. It sucks because I got this hedge all the way across my thing, so I can't run, and he just gets to run and then comes out of the truck and doesn't advance. I move the camera a little bit, you can see the armored car there of his. Yeah, I'm not too worried about order dice or this. And he runs in there, advances in there, and he finds it first roll. So I was kind of hoping he would fail for a turn or two. It's a 50-50 chance, basically. And he got it first grab. So I'm like, well, yeah, it's going to be a draw. So really, all the important stuff is down here around the water tower. And we're picking up and starting a new turn. So I fail with my truck, and it backs up. This is a light machine gun squad. They're going to be running. They're running up behind this truck. And it's just, oh, I guess I had the last couple dice in the bag. So yeah, so light machine gun squad ran up there, and the truck had failed. So I was trying to think, why would I do that first order dice? I wouldn't. So he pulls first dice again and does a snap 2. That's unfortunate. I still got my flamethrower and 2 Panzerfausts in my Pioneers. He's like sitting at point blank range. And I go down, which makes a big difference. He's able to pick off 2 guys, but I still got a flamethrower and a Panzerfaust. So I'm just threatening with these guys. As long as I have the flamethrower, I'm a threat. And here he's now zapping the squad that has the token, the one that's, so I go down with them, because I'm planning to grab that token with the light machine gun squad. And the down is really keeping me alive. And what's been going on too is my opponent has a 10-man squad in that half track. I was really afraid that they would come out, so I was trying to destroy that early on. He has multiple pins on him, and the first time he tried to rally, he failed, and then the next turn he remembered that they're a full-strength squad. So he kind of, I mean, I think this happened a lot, the full-strength rule, since it's a second edition game. But boy, that really taught me a very powerful lesson. And when I'm looking at taking a German army next time, my assault engineers in every game, you know, I put them in harm's way. If there was a second veteran squad working with them, I think they'd be like very powerful. And then a half track, even though I shot the crap out of that thing and his own airplane put a bunch of pins on it, when he went to rally that squad, if he would have remembered, they would have rallied on the first turn because they would get to re-roll a failed rally check. Even with 6 pins, you know, or whatever it was, 5 pins, would have been very helpful for him. Probably would have won in the game if that squad would have come out testing on a 9. But they had failed, and then the next turn they had to spend their turn to rally because he didn't want to jump out with multiple pins on it. It would be very ineffective. He was able to rally the next turn, but by that time I was basically escaping with the token. So second edition brought a lot of rule changes, minor changes. That one is actually a very important one. I don't remember in any game ever rolling for a turret jam on anything because I totally forgot about that rule. So now he's in defense mode on the right hand, on my left side. He knows I've got 3 things in outflank, but it's just 2 medium machine guns and a light mortar. And they can't come in and shoot, so he's just kind of spacing out, giving his guys some cover. And I don't really have anything I can do over there. I had my anti-tank gun in ambush when the half-track first came up, and if I would have hit with that, it might have changed the thing. I could have pushed up because his squad would have had to go down, but I missed, needing like a 4, so that sucked. There's my light machine gun squad. They run through the courtyard and get the token, and so they pass the token over. So now I'm feeling really, finally, I've been holding my breath over here. I'm just taking a punishment, and I can't get an order dice, and can't get an order dice. So finally I'm in a safe spot. He does have a 10-man squad in that thing. So here I get the first dice, and I advance what's left of this, I think 4 guys with 2 Panzerfaust up to the side, and I should have just sat where I was and shot. So now I'm torn. Fire 1 at the tank and 1 at the half track, or fire both at the half track. And I spend too much time debating what I was going to do. I should have just stayed where I was and fired 2 at the half track. The infantry is the biggest threat to me right now. But I missed the... What I do? I hit the half track and I don't penetrate it. And I hit the tank, or the... I don't remember what I did. It was a fail. It was a failure. I didn't knock out the half track. So here comes his armored car. Zippity-doo-dah-day. Just gonna shoot some shots into those guys. But the hard cover, or actually he's finishing off the squad outside there. There's like 1 guy left, and he's firing his armor piercing at the, or his HE at them. It's just a 1-inch, so it gets like 2-3 guys. But I'm veteran. Man, I don't think he kills anybody, but he puts a pin on. Yeah, so the turn before, that 2 Panzerfaust, I split fire, and I didn't knock the half track out. I don't even know if I hit it with my Panzerfaust, but I hit the tank and did like 1 pin to it. Yeah, when we went around and do the paint judging best army stuff, I thought it was pretty cool. He had that DVD player there next to his thing with the Fury movie. So he finishes off that, or puts a couple more pins and kills a few models of that squad that just went up and failed with the Panzerfaust. He's got a sniper, and he tries to shoot my flamethrower and he misses, so whew. It's just a threat. Flamethrower is just a threat. So yeah, then over on the right, it's just he's running back with this token. I move this truck up and I turn it across the road. I'm gonna fire some, if I can, fire some machine guns. Let's try to put a pin on there. And he sees it right away. He's like, "Oh, you!" I can't remember what he called me. It was a good natured, like, called me something. But yeah, he sees what I'm doing. I'm just basically putting a future wreck in the middle of the road. Hopefully, as long as I make him destroy it and not run away because he's closer than me, I'm gonna use that as a block to run my light machine gun squad out through this fence and then down away, down and away. Trucks are good for that. And interesting note, I was looking through the rule book the other day after this event, And I noticed that when it talks about cover, it says soft skins are soft cover for other vehicles. I thought that was interesting. I always just played wrecked vehicles as hardcover, but it specifically says in the cover soft skins. So I'll have to make sure I play that. I mean, they could still block line of sight, I suppose, but... Alright, so yeah, that's just... this game has been very intense. Here's his air observer coming over. He's been trying to drop an airstrike on my anti-tank gun and my squad in the over there to the left for the entire game. And after that first one came in, first turn, this one's just been delayed. So part of me is thinking, if I get super lucky, I mean super lucky, he'll roll a 1 on the airstrike, and I will put it on the squad of his carrying the token, and maybe they will die, and the token will just be laying on the ground at the end of the game. But that's, I mean, I've had crazier things happen, so I'm just running out the gate here, and then on a run order. Stay a little bit spaced out in case he does get a hit on me. I don't take a big HE shot. And that's the turn. So, I mean, I thought in previous turns about bringing my medium machine gun in and stuff and trying, but I'm like, the 5 points are more important than the... I can get 17 points from a draw in the 5 and 20 for a win, but more likely than not, I would end up with just a draw with no points. So here I get the first order dice, and my engineers come up, and I've got a flamethrower and a Panzerfaust. Flamethrower has to fire without a loader at the tank. We had forgotten that, but he remembers it. But I missed anyway. I rolled like a 1. So, and then the Panzerfaust was able to blow up the half track though, and the squad has to come out and go down. So that was important. Panzerfaust hit, and the flamethrower missed the tank. I was kind of hoping to kill that tank or put some multiple pins on it. It's not a whole lot it can do, but my darn assault engineers have just taken a pounding. They're still going. Here I kind of make a mistake. I move that remaining 1 man up there, and I shoot his lieutenant, and I do roll very lucky, and I pick off the lieutenant. 2 shots, 2 hits, and I rolled 2 kills. Here I'm just running. I almost ran too far. My opponent is another one we've never played before. First time we've met. He's a good opponent. He's very canny. He's always looking for the next move. I can tell when he's doing that. And when I do a move, he's usually got a pretty good idea of what I'm doing. So I am looking forward to playing him again. This day was not... We had that first rule disagreement in the beginning, and I'm glad we were able to work through it. And it actually went in his favor with the dice off. But I don't like starting games off like that, like in turn 2, when it's important. And then I had only 1 can. I had two packets of chew for the whole day. I meant to stop on the way up. I had a full pack, but it was in my luggage at Paul's house. And I think by the end of this game, I was on my I had already taken those from getting up in the morning and stuff, so I was starting to get a little cranky. And game 5, I was really kind of cranky. I was like, it's crazy when you don't have nicotine and you're used to it. You're on your feet trying to focus. You start to get a little scatterbrained. But at this point, my opponent's like, well, it looks like this is going to be a draw, and he's just worried about, I think he's worried about his airplane coming in and destroying his own stuff too. Still just fails to come in. And then towards the end of this turn, he's like, well, he can redirect his airstrike with his artillery observer's order dice, and he gets out the laser pointer, and he's probably half an inch away from seeing my light machine gun squad carrying that token. That was a good play. I mean, he was waiting and laying in wait for that, and then right at the end, it's like, oof, that would have sucked. That would have definitely sucked. Here we're looking up the rule on the small team type of stuff. Whether the loader dies on a team weapon, if the flamethrower dies, does the loader die as well? And he does not. He just gets incorporated into the squad. And here I figure out what the hell, I'll come up and shoot. So that's pretty much going to end the game. We do roll for the airplane just to see what happens. So if he would roll a 1, I could bomb him, and it fails to materialize again. So there he's running away with the token. And I'm bringing in, I do pass all my checks on turn 5, and I run my medium machine gun and my light mortar and my other medium machine gun down into that bottom corner. I don't even really threaten him because I don't want that howitzer turning and shooting me. That's kind of one of the reasons why I brought this squad up behind this house, was maybe force him to stay facing the front. Yeah, I mean, if the howitzer would have just turned out of spite and shot one and hit them, then I would only got 3 points for 2, and I wanted to get all 5. Yeah, I'm just putting pins on them so they don't also turn around and shoot like a light mortar or my medium machine gun. I'll wait till the very last so I can bring them in, and then turn 6 I'll just go down with those things to get the -2. But yeah, so that's going to basically end the game since I passed all my checks to bring that stuff in. And my opponent did at the end. We chit chat a little bit. Now that we're not competing, we actually be able to talk a little bit. And he did offer me a whiskey. He's got a bottle of whiskey in his bag. I thought that was very cool. Not bad either. It tasted good. So thank you for the match. So got another draw with the 5 points. So going into the last game, I definitely need to win if I'm going to be anywhere near the top. After this game, the German flamethrower guy ended up in a draw with John Stentz. So I know that it's starting to tighten up. I'm not sure who else is up towards the top, but at least I feel like I'm in the hunt as far as maybe the